Hi, my name's Ruben Krippner. I'm a Senior Product Manager on the Microsoft Dynamics CRM team here in Redmond. And in this video, I want to take you through some of the capabilities being delivered in the Q4 service update for Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So we've seen tremendous growth within the Microsoft Dynamics CRM business. This has been fueled by the recent release of Microsoft Dynamics CRM 2011, and we now have over 2 million users in 80 countries and more than 40 languages. We have over 30,000 customers ranging from small to mid-size to enterprise. And we also have a huge ecosystem of partners and service providers that give you the flexibility to deploy the solution both on-premise or in the cloud. Microsoft has made tremendous investments in our regional data centers for Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online in the Americas, EMEA, and Asia Pac. So I'm now going to take you through a summary of the key investment areas within the Q4 service update for Dynamics CRM. So the first area is what we're terming the unified Office 365 experience. So obviously Microsoft is making significant investments around Office 365 and allowing you to consume things like Exchange, SharePoint, and Lync all in the cloud. And we want to make sure that our customers are able to take advantage of these innovations as well. So moving forward, we're going to be investing in unified provisioning, unified billing and administration. So customers that choose to take both CRM Online as well as Office 365 will have a very seamless experience around how they provision those environments, how they actually administer things like user accounts and other settings, and making sure that the billing is unified into one particular statement for each customer. We're also making investments in terms of what we call enterprise cloud. And so this is really adding enterprise capability to the CRM Online service through things like identity federation. So the ability to actually go and connect CRM Online to an Active Directory on-premise. We're also making extended investments in disaster recovery. We're also doing a lot of investment around industry certifications around our data centers and around the service. As far as feature enhancements are concerned, we've got some investments in new BI, new self-service BI capabilities. We're making some extensions to the dialogues, the guided process capabilities within Dynamics CRM, and we're employing new capabilities for data cleansing to keep the data quality of your CRM Online system in check. And finally, the service update for Q4 also marks wave one of our social investments, where we're delivering capabilities such as activity feeds, as well as a new application for Windows Phone 7 that allows you to consume and work with CRM data when you're away from the office. So there's a broad set of investments. What I'd like to do now is start to drill into some of those in more detail. The other thing to also point out is that the feature enhancements and the social wave one are applicable and available to both our online and our on-premise customers, so we're ensuring that we preserve the power of choice for you, the customer. Another announcement that we want to make is coming in the first half of calendar year 2012, we'll have support for multiple browsers. So we'll be supporting Safari, Firefox and Chrome browsers, and I'll give some more details a little later on in the presentation. So let's go through some more information about the specific release and some of the capabilities in more depth. So we talk about the unified Microsoft Dynamics CRM and Office 365 platform, and this is all about ensuring again that you have parity whether you're working in the cloud, whether you're working on-premise, or you have a hybrid model between the two. So Office 365 is bringing all kinds of capabilities through Exchange Online to manage email, SharePoint Online for document management, content management, and other portal capabilities, and then Lync Online, which is bringing all kinds of unified messaging and various other communication and collaboration tools. Coupled with this, Office 365 customers have access to the Office web applications, so they're actually able to go and edit Word documents, spreadsheets, and PowerPoints all within a web browser without needing the rich client. So that, coupled with CRM Online, means that I can take advantage of all of these capabilities from my CRM Online deployment and be able to seamlessly integrate things like document libraries into my CRM Online experience, being able to light up the presence capabilities so I can collaborate with contacts, with customers and colleagues via instant messaging, phone calls and so on. And an interesting point around the Link Online integration is with Office 365, other customers, so if your customers are on Office 365, you can set up federated authentication between the two. So what it means is that I can see whether a customer in another organization, so long as they're on Office 365, I can see whether they're online, offline, and I can then trigger a number of actions such as instant message, phone calls, and the like. So moving forward, we're obviously going to be making investments around not only taking that end user experience to a high level, but for the administrators and for the IT teams, being able to actually manage the subscription in a central place and receiving the billing all on one statement. So those are significant investments for our customers to really make the entire CRM Online and Office 365 experience seamless. Let's now drill into the enterprise cloud capability. So identity federation means that we'll deliver single sign-on for CRM Online customers who have on-premise Active Directory. The way that we've engineered that solution means that in the future we have the possibility to open up other authentication mechanisms. Our initial set of investments are going to be around federated identity, single sign-on with CRM Online connecting to on-premise Active Directory. So it's really opening up new capabilities for our larger enterprise customers that want to take advantage of their Active Directory infrastructure in order to authenticate and also streamline the management of user accounts and so forth. As I mentioned before, the disaster recovery means that we've actually invested in additional data centers across each region, so that's the Americas, EMEA and Asia Pac. And so it means that if it fails over in the event of a service disruption, it will fail over to another data center within that region, so still adhering to many different compliance requirements in different markets. And then finally, we're also making investments around security and compliance certifications across a number of industry certifications required for both our data centers and for our service as a whole. Let's look at the additional feature enhancements. So we're looking at additional BI capabilities. So this will include enhancements to our chart designer. It will allow you to configure multiple data series on a chart, which means I can, if I wanted to, configure estimated revenue versus actual revenue per account or per salesperson. We're also going to be including new charting types, including stacked bar and stacked column charts. So it gives you more capability, for example, to do pipeline analysis per salesperson rather than the traditional organization or team-wide. You'll now be able to track that against each individual salesperson all on the same chart. We're making investments in dialogues. So these are the guided workflows, guided business processes that we delivered in CRM 2011 that allow you to configure a UI-based workflow. So I can actually set a number of questions that we need the user to fill in information, and it will branch based on the responses or branch based on information stored in CRM. So it steps users through in sometimes very complex processes in a very visual and simple way. So in terms of enhancements to the dialogues, we're bringing in additional data types that will be supported, such as dates, such as lookups, which is going to expand the flexibility on the types of processes that you can achieve through dialogues. We're also going to make it simpler to construct URLs that reference other CRM records. So I'll be able to go and actually set up, when I send an email off to a colleague or to a manager, it can automatically insert the URL for that particular record. So from the email, my colleague can click on that link and go straight to the record, whether that be a case, an account, an opportunity, anything that we want to collaborate on. And then finally, we're making investments in deduplication. So further refining in terms of how you set up rules around what is constituted as a match for deduplication versus what isn't. So all of those things combine to really add some new feature capabilities across core sales, service, and marketing scenarios that you're addressing in your business. Now we're getting into social wave 1, and we're starting to talk about activity feeds. So this allows you to ensure that your users, your organization has simplified mechanisms for collaboration and exchange of information. So we're bringing in microblogging, and essentially what that means is I'm able to post short statuses, maybe ask questions of a community, post answers, signpost to other content, make comments. And it's a very consumer experience similar to Twitter and Facebook, where I'm able to actually post very short messages where email is probably too cumbersome or overused as far as simplistic collaboration. It will allow me to follow people and records that are relevant to me, so I can follow my colleagues who might be domain experts in certain areas. I can follow accounts that I'm responsible for, maybe service cases that I've been allocated, or any other record in the system I'm actually able to follow, and it gives me a timeline of all of the statuses for those particular records. And there's two ways to view it. I can look at a global view called What's New, which will give me a timeline view of everything that I've subscribed or followed. I can also look at the record-specific view. So if I go into an account, I can see the activity feed that just relates to that account, gives me instant context about what's been going on with that particular account. We're also opening up the activity feeds to workflow and API, and that means I can configure what we call auto posts, where the system can actually post statuses to the activity feed based on certain events. So if an opportunity closes, we can configure it to write a status to the activity feed, which therefore exposes my achievement out to the rest of the organization. My boss can see that I've closed the deal, my boss's boss also, so there's less need for a salesperson or a customer service representative to actually do a chain of self-promotion actions. It also respects our core security model, so I'm not allowed to see any records that I ordinarily wouldn't be able to see. And most importantly, it exposes and enables link presence within the activity feed. So if an activity status relates to a user, a colleague, if it relates to a contact, I can trigger all of the actions for link through that particular activity feed. It means I can then trigger things like instant message, phone calls, emails, and scheduling appointments. It makes the activity feed or the wall very sticky in terms of me being able to, one, keep on top of the situation, but two, being able to trigger relevant actions directly from that activity feed. So it's a very exciting set of capabilities and marks our first step in a much broader program of investments around social CRM. Coupled with the activity feeds, we're also initially releasing a Windows Phone 7 application that allows you to view real-time activity feeds from CRM. So I can do things like post statuses, I can do all of the things in terms of being able to ask questions, post answers and so on directly from my mobile device without me needing to be at my PC or my computing device. I can also get views of accounts and contacts, leads, opportunities, or any other record on that mobile device. And from that, it also exposes things like address information, it exposes email addresses, phone numbers, so that I can actually with one click go and make phone calls, I can send emails off to contacts, and if it has address information in the record, I can also trigger a Bing map which will give me locational information about that particular record, and I can then use the Bing map service to actually get turn-by-turn driving directions to get to that address. On top of that, we have a configurable forms model, which means that I'm able to determine what information I want displayed on the mobile device within this application. This also marks the first step as far as our mobility investments across other devices as well. So we're starting with Windows Phone 7, but as we move forward, we're absolutely committed to supporting other platforms such as iOS and Android. As I mentioned before, cross-browser support we're going to be offering in the first half of calendar year 2012, and we'll be supporting Safari, Firefox and Chrome on both PC and Macintosh platforms. And for users of our web application, Safari will also run on iPad devices, which means that it opens up a new array of flexibility as to how I interact with the Dynamics CRM application. So again, those are going to be delivered in the first half of calendar year 2012. One other thing that I want to close on is the roadmap disclosure. And what that means is we want to make sure we're absolutely committed to ensuring our customers have clear guidance on what functionality we're delivering, what our overall roadmap is, so you can start to plan on how you want to take advantage of the rapid innovation that we're bringing to market, and allows you guidance on when it's appropriate to take advantage of these things for your organization. So as we move to the new release cadence where we're now releasing twice yearly, we will be releasing 60 to 90 days prior to each of those releases a release preview guide document. This will go through in detail about what features are going to be included and how you can consume it and where you'll be able to get those updates from. The first of those is available now, and that covers the Q4 service update that I've been talking about. We're also committed to what we term the Statement of Direction white paper. And this is where we talk about and articulate our high-level, broad roadmap, the investment areas that we're going to take, the directions that we feel that the market is taking and that our customers are demanding and that we need to deliver to drive more productivity and more value for you. Again, we're going to be updating those Statement of Direction white papers twice yearly, and the next one is going to be released in the December timeframe of this calendar year. That will cover where we're heading over the next 12 to 36 month timeframe. So those will be available at our website, crm.dynamics.com. So what I'd like to do now is take you through a short demonstration of some of the Wave 1 social features that are going to be included in the Q4 service update. That will include the activity feeds and the mobile client for Dynamics CRM, and hopefully we'll showcase some of the value that you're able to derive from these investments in our product. So I'd like to deliver a quick demonstration of some of the capabilities delivered in the Q4 2011 service update. What you're looking at here is the activity feeds capabilities and the ability to actually use microblogging, to actually keep in touch with what's going on within the business that you subscribe to and follow to, be able to exchange ideas and very simply collaborate with colleagues in terms of asking questions, finding expertise, answering and solving problems. So you'll see that we've got this concept of the What's New wall. This is everything that I subscribe to within the organization, whether that be users, accounts, contacts, cases, opportunities and the like. I have the ability to go in and actually edit my profile picture. I can see how many people are actually following me. I can also have a view of the types of records that I'm following, in this case one user or colleague and 2 accounts, but I can follow anything within the system. At its simplest, all I need to do is actually type in a status. So, what are the new capabilities in activity feeds? And I can post that. And then people can actually go ahead and apply comments to that, so other users. So enterprise microblogging and many others. So you'll see that you can start to build that up, and then anyone following me can get that information and see that in their activity feed, and it's very, very simple. But where it becomes useful is I can also start to reference other things within the system. So I can say, let's say Eric, who's a colleague of mine, so all I need to do is type the @ sign and it will start to filter information for me. So Eric, wondering where the sales proposal is for, and then again I'll do another @ sign, and I'm going to look up another account. So let's say that we want breathtaking sporting goods. Put that question mark in there and post that. So that information's now in there, and you'll see that it's actually gone and created links directly to that. One of the other things that we've done is we've actually embedded presence within the activity feed. So if I hover over Eric, it picks up the fact that he's connected to Link. I can then trigger things like instant message, send an email, trigger a phone call, or schedule appointments and do various other things as far as interactions with Eric. So it's very powerful, allows me to keep on top of the situation, allows me to take actions, and it means that it becomes the one place where I can monitor what's going on in the business that's important to me. Let's go now into an account record. So again, I can click onto that directly from there. Now we have the concept of a record wall. So a record wall is any activity statuses that have been posted directly to this particular record. In this case, it's an account. So again, I've got all of the concepts there around links to the various records, but it's only contextual to that account. So I can see whether or not everything that's going on from a timeline perspective with the account Breathtaking Sporting Goods, or I can get that global view of everything within the system. The other thing also is, let's say I'm the account manager for Breathtaking Sporting Goods and I want to get a picture in terms of what's going on with that particular account. All I need to do is actually go and follow that, and all of the activity statuses will now appear within my activity feed, so I can keep on top of it. Then in conjunction obviously with the mobile client, which I'm going to demonstrate in just a minute, I can keep track of everything that's important to me, both when I'm within the office as well as when I'm outside the office. So fantastic capabilities delivered through the new activity feeds in the Q4 2011 service update. This is Windows Phone 7, so we're running an emulator here. And you'll see that we've got the Dynamics CRM application here, so we'll drill into that. So it will connect to CRM, and you'll see that there's a range of information that I can access. So these are all of the record types that have been exposed. So you'll see accounts and cases and contacts. And we've got a number of other things. So as I swipe across, we'll see any automatic posts from the system. In this case, there are none. And we can also go in and have a look at the user posts. So these are things that I have gone in, or any other user has gone in, either through the mobile client or through CRM 2011 itself. And if I drill into a particular post, I can actually put additional comments. And so I can do all of the same activity feed functionality that you can do through the CRM 2011 client itself. So if we keep scrolling through, so now I'm going to move back, go back into the application itself. And one of the things you'll see is all the records that we've actually got listed there. So if I go into, let's say, accounts, I can do a different view. So in this case, I've got selected my active accounts. And you'll see in this case, Liverpool FC is the account I'm in charge of. So if I drill into that, again, this is configurable in terms of what you want to display on the device, but I can do a number of things. The first thing is that I can actually use the Bing Maps service to do some locational information about that address. So all I need to do is click on any of the blue fields, and it will automatically detect that that's an address and go and actually plot that onto a Bing map. And I can then do things like driving directions and those sorts of things. Let's jump back. I can also navigate into other records. So in this case, I can go into a particular user's profile, and you'll see that anything that is in blue, I can take an action on. So in this case, it's detected that this is an email address, so I can actually go ahead and trigger sending an email. If there were phone numbers in there, I can automatically, with one click, actually go and trigger a phone call to that particular person or account or contact. So there are a number of things that I can do within the application. I can see all of the relevant accounts and contacts and everything I'm responsible for. I've got the full functionality of the activity feed, and I can keep on top of the situation by monitoring that activity feed directly on my Windows Phone 7. Again, this is going to be broadened out to a broader set of devices, but for now the first release is going to be on Windows Phone 7. So as you've seen, there's a significant amount of value that we're bringing to market with the Q4 service update for Microsoft Dynamics CRM. Again, these capabilities are going to be available for both online and on-premise. And excitingly, this marks the beginning of our program of rapid innovation, where we're releasing new capabilities on a twice-yearly basis to really drive productivity and value for you and your deployment of Dynamics CRM. We're very excited to be able to bring these new capabilities to you, and we look forward to providing productivity and value for your organization moving forward.